So I've been watching a lot of different things I'm really excited about. Make sure my badge ain't showing. I've watched a lot of different things that I'm really excited about. And so my first thing is first thing I'm watching. Okay. First thing I'm watching is Attack on Titan, which I just started. Like I've always heard of Attack on Titan. You know, I'm a big nerd, so you know we like them shows. Like I like the shows. And usually I like my anime to have people of color in them, but even if that there's no peoples of colors, I still really enjoy it because it's some fucked up weird shit. And I usually like my anime to be pretty short. 26 episodes is what I like, because I don't like to be y'all to be jerking me around forever like Naruto and fucking Inuyasha. I used to be addicted when I was a little kid. I was addicted to Inuyasha. Like I used to love that show, and I fucking hated Kagome's ass because she was always Inuyasha. I was captured again, bitch. Really? Wow. Get better. Shit. You ain't no Kikyo ho. You ain't no damn Kikyo. And then I just stopped watching because I was like, damn, you guys are really just, this show is never fucking ending. I can't. I just don't. I need my shows to end. Like, just wrap it up. I have a short attention span, I think. I feel that way about movies too. Like too many episodes, too many sequels, prequels. You got me for one movie, and you better make the story count. So anyways, that's all I like my animes. God damn it! Why does this keep happening? I'm not editing that out. It's because this thing is all flippity fledged. So anyways, that's that. I'm trying to think of all my thoughts. All of my thoughts are my schmots. Oh, right. So I watched Attack on Titan. It's really, really good. I finished season 2. I'm watching it. And I like it a lot. You know, it's really good. Because the reason why I really like Attack on Titan is because in my mukbang video where I was eating them crabs, I already said it. I'm going to say it again. Anytime I eat crabs, I think about what if aliens came down from space and they like was breaking us open like that and eating us like we was just so delicious. I always think about that anytime I eat crabs, because there's something almost it's barbaric about eating crabs. I love crabs. I eat crabs almost every day. That's why everyone says I look so thin. But I just started doing that too, by the way, after I started watching that lady eat all them mukbangs. So I started eating crabs a lot. But it's about cracking those crabs open, ripping their little meats out, and then eating them. Something about that is very barbaric to me. And so I always think about, like, we're going to get our upcomings, I think. Hopefully I'll be dead and gone by that time. But, you know, can't keep harvesting every animal on the earth and not think some shit's about to pop off, you know what I mean? So I really like Attack on Titan. I just finished that. And another really great thing I've been watching is it's like this YouTuber who shows us all of the animals. So like there's a bunch of different animals and they're all robotic. So they put these robots out with the rest of the animals to kind of see what they're doing on their own. Like, what is this robot monkey? What do monkeys do when they think how they interact with other monkeys, or how do penguins interact with other penguins? And I've been like addicted to it. I've been watching so much of that, like, and so I started thinking, you know, with my sci-fi ass, I love sci-fi. This is the house I was supposed to go to. I was at the wrong damn. I always go past it, but it's literally right there. Anyways. I always wonder, are there aliens, or are there like aliens who put like robotic humans among us? And I always think about it, like I just saw a guy on a bike and I was like, ooh, he's riding that bike weird, robot. Or like sometimes I'll see the moon and it will look too big and too perfect, like sometimes I'll see the moon and it'll look so damn perfect and round. It's like almost unreal. And I remember I was telling my brother one time, I was like, that is not the fucking moon. That's a giant balloon. That's not the moon. The aliens took it away, or the aliens, it's something about aliens, and aliens did it, and that's not the moon, it's a balloon. I can really see how people can slip into being like losing their mind and being crazy. I have so many of these like thoughts of like, what if, you know, like sci-fi thoughts. And there's another one I was telling my sister about, because I also watched this other thing about people who were saying they were abducted by aliens. And people who get abducted by aliens always have the same damn story. It's the aliens abduct them. They steal their sperm or their eggs, and they all like, oh, we had to steal their sperm and eggs. Harska, I'm looking at that cop. I'm trying to see what the fuck he's up to, because you know he's just standing in the street looking at people annoyed. I think being a cop would be a really shitty job. You know, even if you're not like one of those mean, evil cops, you still have to like deal with the perception of people being, not black people, because black people, I don't know other black people, I just try to steer clear. I don't want no problems with you. I know I want to see videos of white people like yelling at the police. I'd be like, I guess. I'm like, you guys are bold. You are some real bold people. Anyways, so, what was I saying? Aliens, yes. The people who watch the aliens or who were abducted always have the same story. The aliens steal their sperm, steal their eggs, tell them that we are a dying race of people and we need this material so we can keep our race going. We're not going to hurt you. Booty beep boppity boop, right? So that was the video I watched, and they were all saying the same thing. And I was like, you know what? What if that is the case? What if these aliens are from far away, are really advanced, and they, you know, for whatever reason they need this, they're close to humans, we're close enough where they can use our DNA to somehow prolong their race. And we don't know about it, but the government knows about it, and they have a deal with the government to go to these rural, sparse like areas, abduct these people, and like, you know, make them all aliens or not aliens, just abduct them to take their genetic material. We have enough to go around. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not harming anyone. But if we were to tell people that aliens do exist and they want to use you to make more babies, it's just going to cause a problem. You know, the aliens can easily overthrow us, but they're not interested in that. They just need the material to keep their race going forward. So I think about that too. Like, what if that is the case? I don't mind, as long as make sure you're getting a diverse group of people. We don't want one type of alien baby. Don't need no damn hierarchies. But then again, if aliens did exist, Trump would have told us about them already. Because he can't hold water. So if aliens was a thing, we would have known by now. Oh my god, a dog. So I always think about those type of things, I just love the idea. First of all, I love sci-fi. It's my favorite genre of book. And my favorite genre of movie too, actually. I really do love sci-fi, things. And yeah. I was just thinking whether or not I should say this or not, but I'm gonna say it. I had back in college, I wrote a story called The Last Martians on Earth, and basically it was a story about black people. It was based off of this book. I can't remember what the book is called right now, but I read this book that was basically saying what would happen when the thing about sci-fi novels, though, they were all written like in the 50s and 60s and 40s, and they're fucking racist. And that's the thing, is that they're racist. And in this particular novel, I don't remember what it was called right now. It was something. And basically in the novel, they were saying how everyone got to Mars, right? And they had left the black people behind or something like that. They always mention black people, but in a way where it's like, of course black people can survive. They know the land, and they're more monkey than human, basically. And that's what all these books are. Like the Earth Abides. All those books are basically like, black people are trash, and we're the white people, and we're more advanced and technological. So in my story, I said, okay, all right. So I said, that's a very interesting story, what y'all's is saying, this Mars thing about going off to Mars. I said, what if a story where all the black people were sick of being on Earth because they was treating us bad? And what if we all went up to Mars? And so I wrote that story that all black people went up to Mars. And this is decades, it's not decades, these are thousands and thousands and thousands of years later. Okay? Thousands of years later, there's a kid who's basically Jesus Christ, basically an allegory for Moses, there's still black people on Earth who have gotten left behind in this mass like exodus, they've gotten left behind. So he has to go back to Earth to to kind of free all these black people from Earth and bring them up to Mars. He said, that's my mission, that's my goal, that's what I'm designed to do. They did not like that shit. They were like, what? Why they gotta be black? Honestly, but I think they didn't like it because I hadn't fleshed it out yet. It was a short story, but that's something that should be a long story. And really, the way I had a few endings I wanted to toy with, and one ending was that he gets to Earth and he gets stuck. His ship blows up and he's stuck on Earth with these white people who treat him bad. The other ending was that it was a trick. Those weren't black people. Those were white people who have now taken to worshiping the idea, like this idea of the black person. And so the black person is like ultra fast, ultra just like a superhuman. And they end up they take him, they put him in a cage, and they end up like they put him up in this cage, and they end up like stripping him of his humanity. So those are my two. But anytime I write a story, people are always like, the ending's too fucking sad. It is what it is. I'm trying to think of what's the most logical. So, anyways, those white people did not like that. They were like, why? Because in one of the scenes, Moses goes to a forgotten part of the space center or whatever, and he hears like a message that's like, that comes through, which is like it's supposed to be like an allusion to the burning bush. So the message is like staticky, and I relate the static to sounding like pops of fire. So it's like an allegory or whatever for the burning bush. And so the people are like, help us, we're black, we're down here, we're stuck. And then he has heard about Earth and how Earth's was shit, and he was like, oh shit, you guys are stuck? Are you guys black? And I remember one of the guys in the class was like, why would he ask them if they're black? And I was like, because they don't trust white people. What the fuck? Like, what else? Why else do you think they don't? Why else would they ask that question? Because they don't trust it. Because you think about all the folklore they have around being black or being black on planet Earth. That's that. But I just get sick of hearing, like, I just get sick of having, when I was in school, having to read stories about how black people were trash and all these cool sci-fi shit's happening, and black people are being left behind because these people think that they're like stupid or whatever. And I think it has, and I know they have like Afrofuturism and all that stuff, and that's kind of like a common theme. I didn't know this at the time when I wrote this story, but it's like a common theme in this Afrofuturism like idea, is that black people were from another planet, or black people were dropped off here, or black people leave Earth, we get up out of here, whatever, everything. But yeah, I think race is a really big part of my life, and it is a big part of my life. Or when I start to discuss things, like my brain, my synapses are all connected to it, and I kind of wish it wasn't. Like, I kind of wish it wasn't, because imagine how freeing that would be. But I still like the fact, I still love the fact that I can be black, and I can walk in my blackness, and it's all fucking cool and gravy. I love it. It makes me so happy. But yeah, I also love sci-fi. So if you have any good like books I should read, any good shows I should watch, another like a really good show I love the show even before the goddamn what's it called? What is it called? The Star Trek, the original series with the new one with the girl I don't like, Zoe Saldana. Before that even came out, I was a Star Trek fan, honey. I can name you episodes, baby. Amok Time, Galileo 13. Those are my two favorite episodes. They got Spock's brain. You know, I remember, I watch them so much. Like, I used to watch that shit. I used to go to sleep, and I used to go to sleep on Star Trek because it's just a lit show. Like, even the history of it's pretty lit too. You know, Gene Roddenberry was really ahead of his time. I really wish they would have done it in black and white like they did Twilight Zone, because some of the stuff does not age very well. Like, I think they were trying to be more futuristic, but some of that stuff looks really bad now because 1, the colors clash, 2, it looks cheap, and 3, everything's made out of cardboard and you can tell. But on Twilight Zone, I think because everything is black and white, you have a harder time telling that things are shit because everything's in black and white. I feel like if it was in color, it would look worse. Also, I love the Twilight Zone. I love the Twilight Zone. I could probably get into some of my favorite episodes. But I definitely love sci-fi. I think it's my favorite. For me, I like it more than fantasy, and I like it more than horror. I don't really like horror films because they're kind of scary. I don't like things jumping out at me and being scared. I like being normalized. But yeah, those are all the things that I like. You can tell me what you like and what shows you think I should watch, you know. Mind you, this is what I told you I've liked Attack on Titan. I like robot fish and robot aminals. I like Star Trek, of course. And I like lots of things. I like lots of stuff. What else? I don't know. But give me some more shows and books. Even if the books are old, like, even if they're books like, oh, you know what a really good book was? A really good book was called We. And it was like a Russian book that was adapted into, it was adapted into English. And it was so good. And basically it's about this dystopian, all those dystopian novels, I love those, but it's about this dystopian society where they all live in little cubes. No, that's not a cube. What is that? Prisms. And they're clear, so they don't have any privacy or anything, and they all have to think like one. We are one. We are one. We are one. That's like their shit. And it's just about a guy who basically there's people who are trying to break that society down, but they're like secret people. It's kind of like you know what's another really good really good book. This was like one of my favorite books, and now I can't even remember the goddamn name of it right now. Alex Dudley. Brave New World. I love Brave New World. Like, I read that book like 4 times. There's only a few books that I read like more than once. Lord of the Rings. No, not Lord of the Rings. I never read that. Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies. I read like 3 times. Brave New World. To Kill a Mockingbird. Those are books I've read multiple times. Because I just read that they were good books. Very readable. Very readable. Okay, now I'm rambling. But that's fun. I really like talking about that stuff. I really love books. I never know what book to read, though. I never know what books to read. And I always feel like books are expensive, so I'm always like, I don't know if I should spend my money on this book. What if I don't like it, or if it's boring or trash, I don't want to spend my money. But the thing about a book is, like, with a movie, if it's trash and I go see a movie, it's only like an hour. But with books, I have to finish the book out. Like, I'm not going to start a book and then not finish it, because I need to see what happens at the end. So if a book is trash, I'm just like, this is garbage. I don't want to read this anymore. And I have to still finish reading it. I'm like, that was a horrible book. I don't know. It is what it is.